What's up, everybody? This is Jason at From Heroes to Icons, and we are here for a new type of video that I guess I'll be doing, hopefully, if this goes well. This is my first episode of From Heroes to Icons Rewind, where I talk about some of the old TV series that I've watched, and I just want to share it with you. I'll give you a quick summary, not so quick summary, of the show, and go over a little bit of a review of the first episode. I'm not to memorizing all of this other type of stuff. I get hyped about the show and may go on a tangent, so cliff notes. An extensive amount of notes. And, so I hope you don't mind if I just read from them and look up at the camera. My wife hates that. She said the kids should, when they're talking or whatever, to just look up, memorize everything or whatever, but not everybody is as smart as their wife, right? But today I'll be going over a television show which I really haven't heard anybody talk about it. It came out a while back. I only got one Blu-ray set of it. The rest I have on digital. And just for this episode, I went and I bought issue 1 of the comic book that they just happened to have. So you can't help yourself as a comic book collector doing some of these things. And the television show I'll be reviewing for this episode is Grimm. And that was on NBC. I'm going to have to go to my notes for the rest of it. And as you can tell from the monsters down there and just by the title, this is loosely based off of the Grimm fairy tales by the Brothers Grimm. And here is issue number 1. It's always good to have a nice comic book to show somebody. And that cover, yes, is by none other than Alex Ross. The interiors are a little questionable. Am I allowed to say that about one of my favorite television shows? But if it wasn't for the television show, I wouldn't have bought the book. But the TV show was on NBC. It ran for 6 seasons. I don't think it was interrupted or anything. I think the 6th season was cut a little bit short because they just wanted to wrap it up. And it's one of the only television series that I've actually had a good definitive ending, and it made sense to the whole show. Me and my wife was both very much happy with it. The show started on October 28th of 2011, and the last episode aired March 31st, 2017. Pretty dope show. I wouldn't necessarily recommend it for anyone under 13. The people, they change shape or whatever and turn into monsters. Some younger children might be frightened by it. Well, my children would be frightened by it. My son's a little with that stuff, but whatever. The show itself, it didn't have like super special effects or anything like that, but the story and the acting were perfect, to tell you the truth. Season 1 had 22 episodes, and the first season really didn't have a title. They just called it the pilot. Even on the Blu-ray, it's called Pilot. I renamed it The Big Bad Wolf. The major actors in this are David Guental, who plays Nick Burkhart, Russell Hornsby, who plays Hank Griffin, Elizabeth Tolak, who plays Juliet, one of my favorite characters, Silas Ware Mitchell, who plays Monroe, and Bree Turner, who plays Rosalie, and Sasha Rose, who plays Captain Sean Renard, and Claire Coffey, who plays Adeline Shade. This show is dope. And shout out to Comics with Bueller and Bob, Bullseye Bob. This show primarily takes place in Portland, Oregon, and it seems like this place is just full of a lot of uncanny circumstances and things that go on. It follows Nick Burkhart, who is the main character. He's a detective, and his partner, Hank Griffin. Nick is what they call a Grimm. He's the descendant of ancient hunters of monsters called Wesson, but it's pronounced Vesson. I don't know why they turned the W into a V, but I guess it's German, so I don't know. Let's call him Vesson, but it's with a W. Grimm can see the true forms of these monsters called Vesson, who to everyone else they look human. When the Wesson transform, it's called the Vogue, or the Volga. My German's not too great, I guess. Not all of the Vesson are evil, but those that are quite dangerous and must be hunted down and killed by the Grimm. In the Big Bad Wolf, or the pilot episode, whatever you want to call it, right from the jump, you see this chick, she's going jogging, and in her headphones, she's playing the Eurythmics for all of those that are over 40. No, sweet dreams are made of these. And she's, doing a little jogging thing or whatever, and she gets attacked by a monster, and I guess you hear this scream and then the yelling. Fade to black. And it comes back on, and Nick is buying a engagement ring for Juliet. And Hank's taking pictures of him. He's like, yeah, he's teasing him. Because Hank's been married like 3 times, and 3 times divorced. And he sees this woman, and they're talking about her Gucci handbag and all of that. And the chick looks at him, and she transforms. And he's like, oh my God. What is that? And it's really kind of weird. That was his first experience with seeing a Vesson, but he didn't really know what he was seeing. Probably thought it was a long day at work. And they're called to the site where the girl got murdered, and they're looking for suspects and all of this other type of stuff throughout the investigation. Her one leg is somewhere else. She's ripped to shreds. And the MP3 player is still playing the Eurythmics song. So, make a long story short, they walk around or whatever, case the spot, try to find out where the girl was going and this and that. And, they're talking, she was on her way to her grandfather's house, And the girl that got attacked was a college student or whatever, the girl that got killed. And she had a red hoodie on. Lo and behold, another child got grabbed, and she had a red hood on, headed to her grandfather's house. And they're like, well, the route to the school is over here, and the route to her grandfather's house is there. And he's just like, yo, have you ever really listened? What kid listens to their parents? So they cut across, and Nick sees a suspect. And he sees the guy outside of his house, and he transforms. He vogues. So Nick runs over to Hank, I found the guy that took the girl, kicked the guy's door in, or whatever, and it's Monroe, Silas Ware Mitchell, who comes to find out he has nothing to do with it. Apparently he's just a werewolf. Lo and behold. And the story goes on, they're doing the investigation, and Nick's Aunt Marie, who is currently dying from cancer, comes to see him. She's driving a pickup truck with this big silver, I don't know what you would call it. It's like a little house or whatever that she's towing behind her. And she also is a Grimm. And Aunt Marie is played by Kate Burton. And really a grim-looking woman, if you will. It's crazy. So, she wants to tell Nick about what's going on. And apparently, a Grimm's abilities doesn't start to manifest until either someone gets killed in their family or the person starts dying. And then the ability to see the Vesson starts to rear its ugly head. So before Aunt Marie can disclose any type of information on them, they're attacked by a man with a scythe, and he transforms, and Aunt Marie is giving him the business, but Nick ends up killing him. Aunt Marie gets hurt; she's in the hospital, and now it seems like what's going on, and he sees the guy turn from a monster after he shoots him back to a human, and within the little trailer that Aunt Marie has, Nick finds weapons, books, all types of vials with herbs and liquids in it and all this other type of stuff. And the books are actually a history of the Grimms from almost like the beginning of their genesis, I guess, or whatever, until current, of all the encounters that they've had in the different Vessin that they've killed and those that they've befriended, etc. How to defeat them, all other type of stuff. And it's written in like all of these different languages, but most of it is written in either German or English. Very little in English. And so it's pretty dope because Nick finds ways how to kill the different Vessin in it. So Nick goes back to Monroe. He's watching him or whatever. Catches Monroe pissing outside, whatever. So he goes to sneak up on his house. Monroe ambushes him, whatever, cracks a joke. And he kind of befriends Nick. And they're talking or whatever. And he was like, oh, did you just get the books tonight? You know, like, what's wrong with you? You acting like you don't know what's going on. And he tells him about the wolf or whatever and he's trying to hunt the guy down and this and that. And it's pretty dope. And he gives him wolfsbane. And you, like, rub the wolfsbane over you so the wolves can't smell you. They go, they find the guy or whatever. He's a real weirdo living out in the woods somewhere. So Nick can't, you know, just bust in there. He's not like a full-fledged Grimm yet. So he calls Hank, and Hank's like, how'd you find this guy way out here? He's like, oh, whatever. And it's a full moon. So before he gets Hank, Monroe bounces. He's just like, I don't know. It's a full moon. You know where he's at. I'm gone. Hank and Nick go into the, they knock on the guy's door. The guy's like, oh, come in, search the place or whatever. Everything's fine. So, the guy's cooking a pot pie or whatever. And he's just like, oh, there's nothing here or whatever. And Hank's like, what's wrong with you or whatever. And, he's like, I could have swore, that the girl was there, that he's the guy. Then Hank's like, wait a minute. And Nick's like, what? He's just like, did you hear the song that he was whistling? And he was whistling, Sweet Dreams Are Made of These. So he busts in the house, the guy cuts the lights out, he attacks all of them or whatever. Before he can find the girl, he runs outside, wolfs out. They shoot him, kill him, go back in the house, they can't find the girl. The girl's like in the basement, like in a trap door. They find her, whatever, Nick gets the, oh, you found her, great. And all that other good stuff or whatever. And so he saves the day. So Nick goes back to the hospital to talk to Aunt Marie. And he was just like, yo, I found the girl, or whatever. And she was like, did you kill him? She's a beast. She was like, did you kill him? And he's like, yeah, I did. She was like, good. You know what I mean? And Adeline Shade walks into the room dressed like a nurse. And she's acting like she's getting ready to give Aunt Marie a dose, but it's like this green liquid. Straight up looks like poison. And Nick looks at her, he's like, what are you doing? Before he could stop her, she actually puts the poison in him. And he like tries to fight her off, and she falls down. And she escapes, but Aunt Marie is all right. And Adeline Shade walks outside. She gets into the car with her partner. And you see who it is, and it's such a surprise. And you're like, yo, this show is crazy. And definitely, I highly, highly recommend this show. I'm not going to give away the true spoiler of the end of the show, but it was fantastic. And each consecutive episode, and at least in the first season, has a lot to do with the Grimm fairy tales, but it takes a real dark turn as Nick learns how to become a Grimm, what it means to be a Grimm, who he should kill, who he should spare, what weapons are available to him, and it's really great as him and Monroe develop a really close friendship, and it's really, really cool. And I would highly recommend this to anybody. As I said before, you can catch it on Amazon Prime. The DVDs and Blu-rays are available, at anywhere. I guess most of us still purchase it online. But definitely, if you get a chance, watch this television show. It still may be on. I don't know if NBC has like the thing where you can go back like on demand or anything like that, but most likely it is. That's Nick, Hank, and Monroe right there. We got that's an ogre that they go up against. That's Monroe in his wolf form. That is, I'm not going to tell you who that is, but she is she's like a witch. I forgot what they call her. A hexen beast. That's what they call her. It's another werewolf chick right there, and that's the first wolf guy that he killed. Really, really strongly wolfed out. But this show is dope. Got the Blu-rays in there. Still got this. This is when they were still giving the offers for the ultra violet stuff and all of that. The show is hot. Definitely highly recommended. And for those that are doubting, yes, such a fan, I bought the comic book. So I hope you have enjoyed this first episode of From Heroes to Icons Rewind. Hopefully soon, maybe. I'm going to try to make this a weekly thing. I need to get on the schedule so I can get some more subscribers. Y'all know how it is. And I will catch you guys at the same bat time and at the same bat channel. Peace.